Welcome to my crib. Rubber mat thing. It's a living room. Ta-da! I'll give you a tour around, shall we? Hello guys, and welcome to my Kawaii Pink campervan. This is my first official campervan tour. She's a Peugeot boxer. We bought her second hand for £4,000 back in 2020. The story goes, me and my husband were actually meant to be going out on our honeymoon to Disney World, and we were meant to be staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and it was a pretty expensive trip. However, that was during 2020 and it got cancelled. So with the money, we actually bought this second-hand campervan, and we bought it off a man who actually tried to do kind of a bodge job. She is just a general work van that he did try and kit out herself, and we ended up like ripping her out. So today is the day that we're finally taking all of the van apart and starting from scratch. We're ripping all of this out. I can't believe it. We're going to try and resalvage the sink and the hob, possibly the oven, but we haven't decided. But first of all, we need to empty it, and yeah, then we're passing it on and getting her insulated and stuff. We aren't the best at DIY, so we did hire our family friend who's a joiner, and he hadn't ever kitted out a van before. So I drew up some plans and we got her kitted out. So we didn't know how to do wiring or anything, and we had an electrician like wire the van, who's a house electrician. He was actually broke the first time we ever took her out. So now we just use our solar generator because we don't have like hookups or electric or anything like that. If anyone is an electrician or knows how to wire vans, let us know, because we are not into that. I've actually been managing fine with our solar generator, so it's been all good. Anyway, I thought I would give you a little tour around. It's currently tanking down for rain outside, so I haven't picked the best time. We have to have the door shut and my dodgy blind. I will say this van is not finished. It is a work in progress. There is bits and pieces and cracks and everything, and I've currently been out on a solo trip, which you will see in next week's vlog if you like van videos. Without further ado, let me give you a tour around, shall we? So everyone's favourite place in the house, I'm going to start with the kitchen. So we actually have painted the cabinets pink. They're looking a little bit worn now, to be honest, because it has been a few years since this has been painted, so it is looking a little bit worn. I absolutely love it. It's like my favourite place. So down here you can see we actually have an oven. So the hob and the oven were actually from when the guy tried to kit out this van himself. We thought we might as well just save them. He got the oven and the hob from a caravan, so I think he took it out of a caravan, put it in. Originally it was like this beigey colour, but I ended up spray painting it with metallic paint, like oven paint, white, but it has chipped off, so you can kind of see some of the original paint coming through. This oven here, we have never used it. It's actually not plumbed into our gas line. To be honest, if I was living in the van full time, it would be something that I would probably plumb in, but we haven't ever felt the need to use it, so we just kind of currently use it as a storage for our pots and plates and stuff, so nothing exciting. I also kind of like the way it looks because it makes it look like a proper full kitchen, just having like, I don't know, this oven here. We also have a kettle here, which is a whistling kettle for our gas. We have a chopping board that we secure into place, and most things we secure in a place so that we don't have to move it all when we drive. We use these rubber mat things. This is all stained and gross, but these are just like a non-slip rubber mat that you put under like rugs to stop it slipping, and we put that underneath the chopping board, and we never had it slip. And I've also got one underneath my kettle, but there has been times where I forgot this was under there because it kind of stuck on, and I've burnt it when I put it on the gas. But these are great. I've cut little squares of them and it's kept things in place, honestly. I also have a little tulip lamp here, which has run out of battery and I need to plug it in. A little fake plant. So I love my plants. This never moves. It just like stays in place, and this hasn't even got a rubber mat on. I don't know why. And we also have a fire extinguisher that's bolted to the back of this fake tile. Now there's a bit of a funny story about this tile. So when we first ever went out, when the van was first ever done, we ended up burning it like by putting our pan against the back, and we found out this is actually bathroom tile, so it's not actually kitchen tile. so it's meant for bathrooms, so it's not meant to have heat directly on it, so this isn't heat proof. So we just end up using this single hob at the front and make sure nothing's touching the back. I literally burnt it on the first ever time I went out and I was absolutely gutted. We also have this window here. This used to be like a slidey wooden thing. To be honest, we want to probably cut this out bigger so we can go into the front of the cab if we ever need to escape. But the front of our cab has 3 seats because it is like a working men's van, and we used to be really big, so we wouldn't have fit through even if we did do a giant haul. But now me and my husband have lost a lot of weight, we probably could fit through. But if I'm being honest, we haven't been wild camping that often. Like to stay at campsites a lot. We tend to stay on campsites more than wild camp lately. I think on the NC 500 that'll be different, but here in England it's very hard to wild camp, if I'm being honest. In the cupboards over here we have our cool box that we just got off Amazon, and we also hang our pans here. Our pans are currently dirty and just there. I've just made eggs on toast for breakfast, you'll see in next week's vlog, and I've put my dirty pots just over there because I can't be bothered walking over to the kitchen yet. But we hang our pots here. We've got a cool box. This cool box takes up quite a lot of power, if I'm being honest, but it does keep things chilled. However, this is kind of like a heater thing, like heats up itself. Do you know what I mean? Like the fan blows out and it heats up itself, so it's not the best. It's just a really cheap Amazon cool box. It does us for now. Under here is our water tanks. We've got water and grey water, but the water tank is so gross at the minute. It's gone all slimy and gross, so we don't use it. And then the sink is actually hooked up to a pump that we turn on, and you drop the pump into the water tank and it turns on and off here on this tap. But my water tank's all slimy, so I need to like either get a new one or sterilise it and clean all the lines and everything. And this is also my bin, so this just lifts off like this and you put a bag on this bit, and then it fits perfectly underneath there. And then there's also more space for storage, so things like cereal and stuff goes under there. Then we have my oven, which is my glorified pan cupboard. And then this actually could have been a grill because this hob has like a grill thing, but this is just where I keep a load of like perfumes, tampons, you know, stuff like that, toiletries and stuff. So nothing too exciting in there. So we've got face masks as well, which we haven't used. We did it to get a pamper night and we never did it. And then in this one over here, we just have our knives and forks. We have some like bags for the bins, some extra fairy lights for outside, just general stuff, some more spices, and also have our spice rack up here. But we need to put a bar across here because sometimes they fall out, like this one has fell out, so we need to put another bar across the top here. And to the left of my oven is also my gas tank, so my gas is just in there, and we do have a drop vent in there as well, which you can't see because it's like full of like dishcloths and stuff like that. That's like my junk cupboard. At the top here is where we store our quilts and pillows. Our bed actually folds out into a super king bed, which I'll show you later tonight when we set up, and it's really comfy. We store our big quilt and duvet up here, and we also have some slats for the bed that we get out, and we lay it out there also up there, and also a dodgy projector screen that we just dangle on this ledge here when we want to watch the projector. But to be honest, I'm on a lookout for a portable projector because one we have is actually a home one and it draws way too much power. So we actually killed our solar battery by having the projector on. So if anyone's got any recommendations for small mini projectors that are perfect for camping and don't draw too much power, please let me know in the comments below, because the one we have is massively overkill. Often we'll just watch things on our iPad, but we do enjoy a nice projector night in the van as well, so I am on the lookout for that. And then up here we've just got our tea, coffee and sugar. We've got cups and we've got mugs. These are my business, Katnipp. I own a small business called Katnipp and I'm an illustrator, and these are just secondhand mugs that went dodgy in my shop. So this is where we keep our mugs. We also have a carbon monoxide and fire alarm up there, which I have triggered many a times in this van because it is so close to the cooking facilities. I also have a little roof vent. This is a Fiamma and it is just a normal roof vent thing. Alright, now let's move on to the living room, shall we? So this is the living room. This is literally one of my favourite parts about the van. I actually love it when it's in bed mode, but this fits so many people. So originally when the guy kitted out this van, it was a fixed bed across here, but Dean is 6'2" and I'm quite tall as well. I'm like 5'7.5" or something. And we couldn't lay this way, so we used to sleep like this way with our legs dangling off the bed. In fact, one time we put a cool box on a shelf here because there was a sofa, and like we would lean our feet on the cool box before she was kitted out. We decided to do this bed system because we are both fairly tall and going across this way wasn't going to work for us, and I'm so glad we did because it fits so many people in here. We've had 8 people in here at one point watching a film. You can literally comfortably with loads of space, fit 3 people on each side. And then we also have this table here, which is the lagoon, is it? Mount system, where you can like move it around. So I can move this table around. You could push it back here, you can put laptops. So sometimes me and Dean will like sit here and we'll have the laptop there, or we sit opposite and we have our food, but then we can also host, so we can have people here and we're all eating. And this also on an evening is our bed base, so we got it so it fit here perfectly. And then there's a little ledge just off here where we can take this off and we can put it down and it makes part of our bed. And then these, the back bits, push together to make one big super king bed. This foam mattress is actually an Emma mattress, the same as what we've got at home, and I had to use a turkey carving knife and cut the thickness down because it was so thick. Basically these pad bits, because it folds into a bed and it all slots together to make a bed, I literally couldn't sit up because it was so thick. It was like out here, so we had no like seating space, so I had to chop quite a lot of it down. And it took hours and hours to cut down because I just like sawed it down piece by piece. So if you actually flip this bed upside down, it's lumpy from where I've sawed it myself. But it is what it is. But it is really cozy and really nice. We have some art prints over here that are from my small business called Katnipp. I'm actually going to switch them out for autumn as well and put some autumn ones up. I'm going to actually change my van for autumn. I've bought a few little bits and a few little neon signs ready for the NC500 so we can get like all cozy and autumnal. However, we don't have a diesel heater that currently works in the van. We also have a neon sign which is way too bright. It's too pink. It literally on a night time, it looks really nice during the day, but on a night time this is so obnoxiously bright. Honestly, this light is so obnoxious. Like, it's too pink. I can't have it on a night because it's too pink in the van. Kind of looks like a brothel in here or something. I actually think I'm going to switch this out when I change my autumn stuff around. And then I've just installed a bunch of flowers and everything and wisteria, and then I put some fairy lights, and the fairy lights go to the electric here. So this is the one thing that is working in our van. So right here is our switches, the cool box, the water pump, the diesel here, and the lights that you can see. So we have a bunch of different lights, and then we have a USB. So I've just plugged in my USB and my fairy light are hooked up to like this USB hub and this switch here, which I've just stuck on with like command tape. Kind of annoying because this almost doesn't fit. I don't know if you can see that, but it almost doesn't fit, and sometimes I've broke a USB by doing this, but we just have to be careful. And then underneath here is where our electrics are. So we've got all storage containers on each side of this that you can lift up and access, and underneath this one we store a load of like rugs and blankets, and then underneath this one we actually don't have anything. Like, we haven't even filled it up, and we don't often fill this van up, to be honest. But yeah, our electrics is a solar generator and a diesel heater currently that does not work underneath there. Got a 300 watt solar panel on the roof currently that plumbs into our solar generator, and that's basically where we get all our power, and it does us. In the autumn months we are a little worried, and I have bought like a hookup so that we can charge it when we're at campsites and stuff, because we don't have like a split relay or anything at the minute, so it doesn't charge when we drive. It only charges off solar but can be plugged in to be charged. We've never really had too much of an issue. In summer we went out for like 2.5 weeks in her before, and she never ever ran out because it was long nights, so charged a lot. However, we did run out when we were in the Lake District because we had the cool box running like 24/7, and we also had the projector on for a long time. But as soon as we go out during the day, come back, it's normally charged. Now moving on to up here, these are all our storage cupboards. This is our food cupboard. So we've shot a lot of our tins and cans in there. And we also have our toiletry cupboard. This is where my makeup and toilet roll. These have just been installed, these little hook catches, so that they don't like open. But if I'm being honest, I think a stronger magnet would have been better, but they work really well actually, and I really like them. And then these two, this is my two cupboards. So this is where I've got my clothes. I have packing storage cubes to help keep me organised, and this is just where I've got my big fluffy blanket at the minute. One thing I really like about this van is in the summer we will open these back doors and it makes like a really beautiful view and it brings in loads of light. There has been times I've been contemplating getting new windows installed in this van on the back bit, so we have like a view out the back, because it is a little dark in this area. But to be honest, in terms of insulation, that will make the insulation less, so I don't really want to like make the insulation less than it actually is. I don't know, I'm still undecided about that. At the moment it's currently padded with Kingspan and then some plywood. These windows actually we got installed by an automotive window company. The guy had put caravan windows on the sides of the van. He just cut it out himself and stuck caravan windows on. They were really leaky, and they used to let rain in, they let a lot of wind in, and they weren't sealed properly, and they also weren't very secure. It was just plastic caravan windows. So we ended up getting these big glass ones fitted, which I love. I've got one on each side, but I need to get some proper blinds for them because I've just cut out some blinds myself, and the other blinds over here don't even go all the way to the back. Look, this is just some cheap temporary blinds that I got from Amazon. And this is the front of my car, so nothing fancy. We got these from Etsy and I had to cut a hole in the middle for this middle seat. Got a little pillow here, and this, look, it's where the mirror burned. Can you see? That could have been a disaster, am I right? So yeah, I absolutely love this. These sofas are so comfy as well. It's like my favourite place to cozy up. I am about to drive into Malton and spend my day in Malton and then pitch up again for the night, and I will show you what set down looks like. I'm gonna put the bed up, and I thought I'd show you a little time lapse of me putting it up. Let's go, shall we? I normally have Dean help me. Sometimes I think, is there any point in putting the bed up when there's only me, because these are like a single bed. It's really cozy, so I'm gonna do it. Someone's barbecue smells nice. I made these slats by cutting some old bed slats, and then I just stapled this fabric to it and like cut it to size so it just fits in here. Like this. And this actually folds out into a king size bed. Oh, in fact, it's not even a king size, it's a super king size bed. Oops, I put this the wrong way. I don't need to make it really tight or anything because it's only me in the bed. So as long as I sleep on it. Where's the other pillow? We normally have more pillows than this, but I forgot to bring 2 of the pillows home. Now it's nice and cozy. And that, my friends, is bed mode, but it's still light outside. But look how cozy it is. We also have lights like this. Ta-da! This is the bed mode. Very cozy. Oh, I love this fan so much. And ta-da! This, my friends, is bed mode. This is my favourite mode. For those of you who might be wondering why didn't I choose a fixed bed, it's because it greatly opens up the space, and if we look down here there isn't much floor space. There is enough floor space to like get around, but if this was permanently up it would feel like really claustrophobic. This is like a full-on super king bed and I love it. It's literally so cozy. So as soon as tea is done, I'm like bed mode is on. It's really, really nice to snuggle up in here on an evening, and sometimes we'll have the projector on, and yeah, just a vibe. I've currently just got pizza, so I'm going to eat pizza in bed, read my book, and wait for the sun to set, which is setting currently now. Sometimes I have these back doors open as well when the bed's in bed mode, and we just like lay here and look out, read our books, watch some films with the doors open. I'm not going to do that today because last time we were out, a massive pterodactyl moth infiltrated the van. I haven't got Dean with me on this little solo trip, so I don't fancy getting eaten alive by a killer moth. That is my cozy pink camper van. What did you guys think? If you like van videos, then definitely stick around, because the next few series I'm going to have 2 episodes of me going out in the van solo, this trip I'm currently on right now, and then we'll be going back home and renovating the van for autumn for our NC 500 trip. It's the first time I'm ever going so far up north. The furthest I've been is like Edinburgh, Glasgow and Dumfries. That's the furthest I've been in Scotland, so we're going to do the full North Coast 500 in Scotland, and it's going to be cold and it's going to be autumnal and it's going to be amazing hopefully, so stick around if you like van videos. We also do geeky travel and cozy adventures on this channel, and if you did enjoy it, please give it a like and leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright then, thanks so much for watching. I love you. Goodbye.